Walking back through the ice cold snow, it was searching for the right down. The right when I said I was down. I was searching for humanity though.
So hey everyone, it's me, the Blabby Daddy. I just thought I'd do a little intro music for a change. Big props to my teenage German band, Beautiful Bunch, and Leah Bell. Hope you don't mind me using 20 seconds of your song there, Leah. Today I want to talk to you about Birdman. That's right. We went to Redbox last night and rented 2 movies, which I will talk about, starting with Birdman. Let's go ahead and take a look at the movie poster. It stars Michael Keaton and Zach Galifianakis, Edward Norton, Andrea Riseborough, Emma Stone, Naomi Watts. It, obviously was critically acclaimed and very well received. A lot of people really loved it. And I'm one of those people. I thought the movie was great. There you go. There's a good look at the movie poster. I'll let you check that out. You see all of the people that I spoke of, including the bottom right, the actual Birdman character, which the point of the movie is that Michael Keaton plays actor Regan Thompson, and he's most famous for his movie role from over 20 years ago of a comic book superhero named Birdman. And it's, that popular movie and its 2 sequels basically haunted him his entire life. Sorry, I guess I should go back to the Birdman poster. Anyway, I've been told, or it's pretty common knowledge, that the movie was literally, it's Michael Keaton's life. He was Batman, and he's been in a lot of movies. He was Beetlejuice, Mr. Mom. He was in Gung Ho, which was a great movie. He's, his filmography is huge. Those are just the ones off the top of my head, and I know that I would think of several more impressive titles after this is all over. That's usually how it works out. So let me just dive right into my notes here. I enjoyed the fact that they shot this with a one-take effect. Now, there were a lot of cuts in this movie, but some obvious, some not so obvious. But the way that they panned around, and then they would use subtle transitions and light changes, that's when there was a cut, technically, or a fade, okay? But for the most part, I'd say 80% of the film looked like it was shot in one long continuous take, which was awesome. I thought that was really, really cool, and so did my wife. She was like, hey, I like that. Cinematography overall was cool. It was lit well. Set design was cool. The performances were great. And Michael Keaton, Edward Norton, as a matter of fact, as far as saying that this movie basically followed Michael Keaton's true life career, Ed Norton pretty much was himself, from what I've heard. He's very difficult to work with, and he's a method actor that gets really into his characters. And, well, maybe it's Shia that's the method actor. But I've heard that Edward Norton is really meticulous and difficult to work with, as he displayed in his character, with his character in this film. Emma Stone was really cute. She was Regan's daughter. Can't think of her character's name off the top of my head. Sam, thank you. She was cute, and she was an addict, recovering addict. She had been to rehab, and I'm not quite sure the exact age group that she was supposed to be playing. Teenager, maybe, early 20s. Not too far. I guess she's in her 30s now. Doesn't matter. Wikipedia, Google will heal all these questions that I have. But the point is, she played a young, kind of had an air of innocence about her when she was up on the rooftop with Ed Norton, and she started engaging him in a game of truth or dare. And although it may have been sort of like ulterior motives, it was cute that she used such a simple way to try to get to know him and try to actually hook up with him. And I am experiencing deja vu right now, so there's something wrong with the Matrix. Okay, moving on. Back to the way they shot it with the one take, it was also very cool that they would get in front of the dressing room mirrors and you didn't see the camera or the camera crew in the mirrors because they had superimposed, like they took the shot in the foreground and, you know, cropped it. They used special effects, CGI, and After Effects to put that or a different take or a similar take in the mirror to cover up the fact that the camera crew was standing right in front of it. And so that's just little things that I noticed I thought was really cool. The music, the drums, it was very drum-filled, drum-heavy movie. And you'll see a couple of different examples of drummers in the film, and I thought that was interesting. And so let's just get to the, you know, the big thing here for me about the hallucinations. Michael Keaton had special powers. He could make things move with his mind. He could make a lot of things happen just by willing it to happen. Now, was he really doing that, or was it a hallucination? We know that he had his alter ego talking in his ear a lot. It was the voice of his character as Birdman. So, you know, I don't need to go too far into it. Just, it's interesting with the hallucinations, some of the things that he did, like when he would have a rage or when he would get upset. But Michael Keaton, at the Oscars, he apparently had his acceptance speech out and ready to go. And there's a YouTube video out about how he, you know, was embarrassed or whatever, that he didn't get it. And he tucked it in his jacket, and everyone was saying, oh, Michael Keaton embarrassed, humiliated that he didn't win the Oscar, and shamefully puts his whatever. In a way, it's just a continuation of his character in the film. Here he is at the Oscars. He's, you know, his movie's been just knocking it down all night, winning awards, and actually Budapest Hotel won the most awards, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, Birdman was really critically acclaimed, nominated for a lot, and had won some awards at this point. I'm sure he was feeling pretty good about it. And then his name doesn't get called. So he's like, you know, but that's a continuation of his character in the film. I think it's very apropos that that happened. So I don't feel sorry for you, Michael Keaton. I think you were just in character. And, you know, that's pretty much everything I've covered except this last point. I thought Zach Galifianakis was pretty good in the movie. He, you know, he wasn't his typical goofy self, which I thought was, you know, refreshing to see him do something different. The performances were great. Overall, great movie, 4 out of 5 stars. But I want to leave you with this favorite quote that we have from the film. I'm going to make sure that this is loud enough just here. This is Michael Keaton after a couple of, I think they're on their second or third preview of his play. You know, I didn't really talk about the plot of the movie. It doesn't matter. I want you to watch the film. You can look up synopsis on Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb. I didn't go too far into it, in other words, but he's trying to put a play on Broadway. So they're, you know, they're getting ready for opening night, and they've gone through a couple of premieres or previews rather. And this was Michael Keaton talking to Emma Stone in the dressing room about how he felt everything was going up to this point, which, by the way, was a disaster.
Okay. Do you really think you'll be ready for opening tomorrow?
Yeah. 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 Well, I mean, previews are pretty much a train wreck. We can't seem to get through a performance without a raging fire or a raging heart on. I'm broke. I'm not sleeping, like, you know, at all. And this play kind of starting to feel like a miniature deformed version of myself that just keeps following me around and like hitting me in the balls with like a tiny little hammer. I'm sorry, what was the question?
Never mind.
Yeah, so that was, in my opinion, typical beautiful Michael Keaton, where he goes on a psychotic rant in most of his films, and not quite so psychotic at this point, but just his facial expressions and his intensity during that scene is beautiful, and I love it. It's typical Michael Keaton, and I'm a big Michael Keaton fan. Again, 4 or 5 stars. Make sure there's nothing I left out. There probably is. There always is. But that, hey, that's why we have comment sections, so we can talk about it. And go ahead and leave your feedback. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And thanks so much for watching. If you've seen the movie, leave your comments and feedback, and we'll continue the discussion below. Until next time, thanks so much for watching. Bye.